Hi guys, Dr. Millie here for Eating for Meaning. I know I have one of the probably the most inconsistent channels on YouTube, and I've been really, to be honest, to really get real, I've been really ambivalent about what I'm doing on this channel. You know, I've started YouTube channels, start and stop and start and stop and start and stop, and I feel like I'm almost on my fourth reincarnation of a channel because I do have a message to get out there. It's just that I've had a hard time getting to a place with myself where I feel like I'm delivering the message that I want to deliver in the way that I want to deliver it. And I think that everybody on YouTube, we're here to be inspired and we're here to learn about mystical and occult things and spiritual things that, we don't know about and we want to learn more about. And I'm here to bridge the gap between the physical well-being with the mental well-being as well as the spiritual well-being, because those are really the foundations of naturopathic medicine. But even more than that, I always identify as a naturopathic doctor, but I feel, to be honest, I'm getting away from that a little bit because there's more that I want to say that is not so much about naturopathic medicine. And some of you might know that I've been doing something called Happy Hour Hypnosis for the past 6 months. It's been on my website, eatingformeaning.com. It's been a free event, and this week I started something new. It's a paid event now. It's $11.11 per month. I think that number is, it's an angel number and it's an amazing number. And I am pulling cards. I am discussing in a meditative therapeutic tone about our health for the week. So I am really moving most of the content that I did on the previous YouTube channel onto that platform. And I don't know what I'm going to talk about on YouTube. I might just be scrapping this channel again and starting again, or I think you will see me, because I think that this is still something that I want to reach out to people, but I'm not exactly sure which way it will go. And so I feel like I'm pretty vulnerable actually on YouTube speaking out, because I don't, at this time anyway, I don't exactly know what path I'm taking. And I am impressed when people get on and talk about twin flames, and I am a twin flame, and they talk very raw and emotionally, and they even break down and cry about themselves. I am impressed by that. I mean, I'm impressed, and I'm also not impressed. I'm impressed because they're really bearing their souls to their community, me being part of that, but then I'm also not impressed because I kind of feel like I judge that. And but that's my own stuff, it's just like, as to be teachers, we are also participating in life. We're not just somehow risen above life and here to provide all of our knowledge, because we're actually living it as well. I am going into my 5th year of knowing my twin flame. I met him just before Hurricane Sandy in New York, in Brooklyn, 3 months after I moved to New York. And quite honestly, I moved to New York for no reason at all. I had been hired by the Canadian federal government, and I had been basically on hold waiting for them to fulfill, going through all the testing and the secret meetings and where they analyze every aspect of your brain to see if you're right for them. That went on for a year. And then for 8 months, they kept me on hold. I had been hired for a job in what is the Midwest of Canada. And they kept me on hold for about 8 months, and I was pretty devastated when the budget collapsed and there was all of a sudden no money for that role anymore. And so I had spent about a year and 8 months of my life kind of in limbo waiting for that. So I moved to New York, maybe reactionary a little bit, but not knowing what I was going to do here, got a job, started practicing part-time, and met my twin flame. And of course, it was only through that process of meeting him and knowing him and using astrology to meet him. So we never made any plans to meet. I would always, we had a kind of an agreed location, a local, watering hole. And it was only really through astrology and a little bit of hit and miss that I would meet him, and I think he was using his intuition, and also maybe hit and miss, luck of the day, to meet me. And that's through that process I really started waking up. Not, I don't consider myself ever to be a person who was asleep. I am a Pisces. I've always been psychic. I've always been highly intuitive. But there's definitely been times in my life where I've been numbing my clairsentience and not knowing, what that means to feel things. Jill and Remy told me, I'm a feeler that doesn't want to feel, and my twin's a seer that doesn't want to see. And he does have a lot of eyesight problems, actually. And yeah, I became pretty masculine, I think, because sometimes when you're hyper feminine, you use masculinity in order to create barriers for yourself. So that's part of my twin flame journey that I can discuss at this moment. The cards that I did pull for this week, I did not pull any emotion cards. I pulled a body, mind, and a spirit card. And the body card that I pulled was Vision Quest. The mind card that I pulled was Higher Power. And the spirit card that I pulled was the Ocean. So obviously, in order for us to be healthy this week, we really have to pay attention to the unknown. We have to meditate. We have to let those flickers of thought come up that we have not preconceived, that we do not know are something that we want to do. We have to let our inspiration appear in front of us and be vulnerable and be intuitive and trust in the higher power, and use nature, the ocean, saltwater baths in whatever way you can in order to get yourself to that place. I do often say that, and I've been saying this for a long time, that going on a detox, and of course this depends on how you eat. If you are a major restrictor already, you do not need to detox more. But if you are somebody who uses sugar, uses caffeine, eats a lot of meat and starch, and maybe has weight issues, or even if you don't have weight issues, if you use food as as kind of a fix, this might be a week to detox, because it does allow you to get to that place of spiritual awareness when we're eating more simply and eating cleaner and eating a lot of fluids and not as many calories. It does allow us to go more into our spirit and to connect more with our inner selves, as opposed to being grounded, in the meat and potatoes. That type of food really does, it's very stick to your rib, but it also really grounds you in the physical and in the world that you can see around you. Whereas when you eat lighter, when you eat more vegetarian, when you eat with more spiritual awareness, then you also become more sensitive and more vulnerable to that. I myself am going on what I'm going to call a milk and honey fast for 10 days in the middle of October, and so I hope you will join me on my journey that way, and I will be posting my experiences with that. It's not going to be all milk and honey, and it might not be any dairy milk, or very little. It might be nut milks and juices and soups and things like that. So it's going to be all liquid, and I'm going to try to post every day. If you are interested in my happy hour hypnosis, then please do click the link below. You can sign up at my website, eatingformeaning.com. I do also have books. I've got an Eating for Meaning Guide to Detox, as well as the Eating for Meaning workbook that helps you transform your relationship to food. So I hope you'll check that out. If you do want a one-on-one personal reading, it's not a reading, a personal session with me, on your twin flame experience. I have been doing some counseling with my patients on that for the past couple of years, and those readings or appointments can be booked. I might pull some cards, but it's really not about the cards. It's really about tuning into you and your intuition, and I use psychotherapy and psychodynamic psychotherapy to help you move forward and cope with the situation that you're in, and actually focus on the love around you. So those are $111.11, and of course I think that that's an amazing number, and I am mimicking Agatha's pricing, and I think it's amazing. It's a 30-minute appointment, and you can book that on my eatingformeaning.com website. And if you would also like a naturopathic medicine appointment, if you're in New York, or if you want to travel here, if you want to do a phone or Skype consult, then I'm available for those as well. And you'll also see some my happy hour hypnosis can also be booked on that. And again, that's a monthly subscription for $11.11. Otherwise, I've got some freebies. I've got a guide to organ detox that's free, and you can download that, and you can get on my mailing list and learn all about the things that I'm doing. I've got a free workshop coming up on 6 ways to maximize your vitality in a day, coming up on October 23rd in Nyack. And I've also got, October 23rd in Soho. And then I've got, October 24th in Soho. And then the day prior, on Monday the 23rd, I'm going to be talking about the spirit of the skin with esthetician and Native American healer Kathleen Grace, and that will be in Nyack on Monday, October 23rd. So those are both available to you if you're living in New York, or if you're in Nyack, which is upstate, a little bit on the Hudson. And please do come out to those and tune in. Love you. Bye.